Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome back to the Road to Grandmaster. No draft in today's video, but we are going to be playing Anub'arak. Basically, this was while I was grinding out a whole bunch of games, so I didn't bother recording every single draft because I was watching like YouTube videos at the same time I was playing. It's just to get these over with as quickly as possible. I think it was at the point or around about the point where I had disconnect and lost a whole bunch of points, wanted to get back up again. But anyway, it was the last pick of this draft, and I did grab Anub'arak. A lot of the other warriors were banned out or removed. I think they're running double warrior in the enemy team. We'll find out when we see them. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting. Most of their damage is focused into Li Ming. Yeah, they've got double warrior, double support with Malf Tyrande, and then a Muradin Artanis, I'm pretty sure. And then they got Li Ming, right? The enemy team doesn't have much damage. So Anub'arak, I figured, would be a pretty good fit. We've got double support with Tassadar as well. The Sky Finals end was hilarious. He was picking like everything I would never ever pick. So he's gone for like Regen Globe, Tassadar, and Battlefield of Eternity. He went, I don't know, just every game he was going for something random. But anyway, I thought this was going to be a funny video to show you guys because for whatever reason I was just real chill, man. I was just real chilled out. I was like the Zen Anub'arak. I was like, I'm not scared of nothing. I don't care about anything. You can see like right here, I'm just sitting in the lane, guy. I'm just sitting in the lane. I'm like, it's all good. I'm not worried about nothing. I come up, I'm going to hit some of these things, going to run around, just be a little bit scared to the enemy team. Oh, look at that, another double knock-up. Isn't that nice? Tyrande tries to stun me. It's all good. She puts vulnerability on me. It's all good. We didn't take any damage. That was actually kind of important there. That was actually taking it seriously. Where Vala got rooted, so we're going to stand in front of her. Unfortunately, that hit Tassadar. So we do take some damage from that one. But yeah, I don't know. In this game, I was just like, I'm going to talk more about like the whole psychology of playing like at the end of this season because hey, here's a triple knockup. Because it really definitely has been a very big deal for me with streaming in particular. But yeah, in this game I was just like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'm super chill. I'm just like, nothing's going to kill me and I know it. Hey, there's another triple knockup. There's another triple knockup. Oh, I also forgot to say, the Ragnaros player is a pro player. He's Sevka, and thank you for whoever it was, I can't remember now, but whoever it was that told me how to pronounce that name. But it's Sevka from Team Synergy from Europe. So yeah, he's gonna be on that now. He normally plays support. I've only ever seen him play support apart from that, but he picked Ragnaros in this game. We're gonna start working on this Immortal. Burn it down a halfway point, which is nice. I think I'm gonna... yeah, it's gonna back up the team a little bit. I would love to tap a well, but we just don't have time. Tassadar, unfortunately, has gone to split push a wave for some reason. I don't know why. I think he wanted a globe or something. That puts us in a little bit of a disadvantage. While they're finishing it off, I don't really do much damage to it, so I'm gonna try and knock the enemy team up. Just push them away, slow them down. It didn't really do too much. But that was the idea right there, was that Anub'arak, he doesn't add much damage at all. What he will do fairly well is, you know, just stun and slow down the enemy team. In the meantime, while Ragnaros is back in base, I'm going to come up top and soak that wave for him. Make sure we get all this XP and continue our XP lead. We've got a very weak Immortal. We're not really going to get much out of it. We're only going to get, like, the front gate. That's it, so... also no real rush to get there. I wanted to knock him up. He didn't actually back off. Saki as well. I think he was a former pro player. I don't think he's a pro player at the moment. But I know that you guys are a fan of him from some of those previous games in the season. There you go. Yeah, you see we got the front gate. We actually burned down a tower while we were top as well. So that's 3 towers without Immortal and actually got half the damage on the fort. As you look at their team, like their damage is pretty bad, right? Their damage output's fairly bad. They've got the Tyrande vulnerability. But like Muradin, Malf, they're not going to do too much damage to the Immortal. Li Ming is great for poking at it, but her total damage output isn't great. Right there, once again, you see Malf landed a root on her team, so very, very important thing to do with the Anub'arak, and I'll talk about the talents now in a second. But we just walked right in front of Li Ming's face. We ate like a melee range orb and all the magic missiles. We basically took no damage, and we protected our teammate who, you know, might have even been put into like a kill pressure sort of situation if they'd actually been hit by that. So just intentionally body blocking in particular Li Ming's skill shots as Anub'arak, because he hard counters Li Ming, guys. I say this every Anub'arak video, and it's so true. He just hard counters her. Such a pain for her to play against, and that is one example of what he can do against her. Going in fairly aggressive here at this point. Knew that the enemy team was fairly out of kind of cooldowns and things like that, so just engaging really hard, just putting a bit of pressure on. Anyway, I want to take the bruiser camp. Excuse me, I just woke up this morning, guys. I just woke up. We want to take a bruiser camp. I was saying Vala to come help. We obviously want Vala to help. We don't really care about anyone else helping. Like, the Lucio doesn't need to be here. In fact, he probably shouldn't really be here. But yeah, like, Vala can burn it down quickly and we can enable that. Yeah, okay, so talents. Level 1, Dampened Magic. Every 8 seconds, we see it in the bottom left screen there, side beside the healing fountain cooldown thingy. We get 50 spell armor for 1.5 seconds whenever we get hit by an ability, which is really useful. It makes you very tanky, and that's part of the way that he's so good against Li Ming. Ragnaros hasn't arrived. Again, I was trying to slow down the enemy team. Vala's going kind of crazy at me. The bigger problem was Ragnaros again. Like, I don't add much damage. I was trying to slow them there down. I'm going to come in and I'm going to just slow them down more aggressively this time. Ragnaros actually gets caught and killed. But yeah, basically my goal here is to be as annoying as possible. I'm not too worried about dying. I just want to slow them down. Build them up, break them down. Now we're going to die. We're basically, at that point, trying to race as hard as possible. But yeah, we're going to die now. But as you can see by the shields, like it was actually quite close to being a pretty close race in the end. We're getting a quick lesson from Vala, which is really nice. Good, lucky us. So at the end there, I decided to just go ham into the enemy team, not save my cooldowns for escaping or anything, just burn them all. Try to distract them, try to slow them down, and we might even win the race. So, yeah. So again, I was pretty zen. I was just like, alright. Thanks for the lesson, dude. I thought it was so funny. Quick lesson for you noobs. Anyway. What other talents did I get? Legion of Beetles at level 4. So we're going to automatically spawn a beetle. You see how trait keeps going on cooldown? That's the cooldown for that ability. We can turn it off as well if you want to hide in brushes. But yeah, spawning a beetle every 8 seconds. Really useful. You know, it's a little bit of extra damage. Most importantly, it's a little bit of, you know, extra skill shot absorption against the Li Ming, which is really nice. Against Muradin as well with Storm Bolts. So that's pretty good. Gonna swap with the Ragnaros once again. He obviously is down bottom defending. He used Molten Core to defend. So we took over that solo lane while he was doing so. And then we're gonna give it back and come down and join our team after that. Level 7 Chitinous Plating, while our shield, our W, is active. Taking spell damage reduces the cooldown by a little bit. So here we hit level 10 a little bit earlier, so it's just like, I'm going to go ham and burn everything. And we're just going to hope that they're bad. Unfortunately, they're not bad. See right there with Dampened Magic expired. Doesn't do as much. Alright, so in fact, that actually worked out worse for us. So my theory right there was, we were about to hit we hit level 10 first. The enemy team was hitting level 10 like as I was engaging, so I was kind of hoping that they would not have time to take their talents, whereas my team would. We'd be able to exploit that and kind of punish them. So it didn't really work out. The enemy team did have all of their heroics taken on time. They used them well, and then our team, the strafe was super late, and then most importantly, the sound barrier was super late. It did nothing. The old safety disengage sound barrier. So that was a bit unfortunate. We could engage here. I'm gonna go in and probably go right back out again looking at this. Yeah, with them all low, I'm just gonna go right back out again. It was worth a shot again to try to interrupt and slow them down. I'll grab that regen globe. Now we're looking for a fight here. I'm ready to go. Vala's backed off. She's doing this. She taught us a lesson, and now she's acting upon that lesson. So she's going to race the Immortal while we try to delay here, which is actually working out fairly well. We go for a knock-up, get a nice knock-up. That's a good stuff here. Smash, but unfortunately it was on target we don't really want to hit. Going fairly aggressive once again. Want to just delay, distract. You can see me just running back and forth over here. Not committing. Just trying to delay and distract. Delay, distract. We knock up Li Ming and Tyrande. That's fine. Sidestep that. They're going to chase us a good bit. We're just trying to juke around, just make it hard for Li Ming to hit us. And Muradin, he hit the Storm Bolt, so that sucks. We get a shield right at the end, though. There's a very late Archon. Interesting. He gets Li Ming with it, though. So can't complain about that. Archon does run out, so he's not going to do much more. We're just chilling. Again, we're the Zen Anub'arak. We're just chilling here as he does that. Just watching in case, you know, stuff goes a little bit crazy. I'm going to come up and just add that little bit of damage. In fact, this is a bit of a waste. Okay, like 2 basic attacks in on that Immortal. Bit of a waste. Should have actually probably just stayed and killed the siege camp down bottom. Which is obviously threatening that fort. So that would have actually been a better use of my time right there. Oh well. Locust Swarm, level 10 of course, heroic of choice. Does quite good actually, AoE damage per second. And then gives you a heal for everything that is damaged. You can actually heal up loads on like minion waves. You can take people really by surprise sometimes with that, which is nice. Right here we actually pop Locust Swarm. We're going to go fairly aggressive. We're just trying to do as much damage as possible, soak up a little bit extra. They burned a lot of their cooldowns, so I'm actually going to go pretty aggressive in here. Just protect my team from the potential of... oh, that was not a great impale. Oh well. But just protect them from the Starfall. Just push in aggressively, push the enemy team back. Very much playing around cooldowns. That's part of why this was such a Zen Anub'arak game, was that they have very little kill pressure for the most part. They have a few like clutch cooldowns like the Li Ming stuff, Tyrande Vulnerability and Stun Starfall. I'm playing around those. It's pretty easy. Anyway, at this point, he got caught. He should be okay though. Get a big knock up here. Trying to kill him, but Tranquility actually coming out does save him. It's actually good for us, I would say, that he's Tranquility. I think the other heroic, Twilight Dream, is a bit better overall. Yeah, and he's doing another knock up. Spawning some beetles. And we're gonna run away. Eventually. Eventually. One thing you'll note I'm doing as well on Anub'arak, this is a little trick that you can do. Your trait, right? Your beetles spawn every time you use an ability. So if you are going to Hearthstone back, you want to like burn all your mana on your abilities and then Hearthstone, because that will spawn out extra beetles. You can also, you'll see me, probably have noticed me using my W quite a lot as well to spawn beetles too in this game, to get them for scouting in the middle area because they run towards the lane. Or just to like get them out for a bit of extra damage. So yeah, you'll probably have noticed me using my shield a lot in this game and kind of going like, why is he using a shield? That's just wasting mana. It's nothing to shield. That's been using it for spawning beetles. So there you go. Level 13. Earth-Dracanic Spines. Casting our shield will do AoE damage nearby enemies, and it does double damage to heroes. So it's a little bit of extra wave clear, and it's a little bit of extra burst damage in team fights. It's pretty nice. And we're going to be using our W a lot anyway, so why the hell not? We've got the cooldown reduction on it as we take out spell damage from level 7 as well. That talent was actually broken for a while. I'm pretty sure it's fixed now though. But yeah, that'll be a lot extra. Oh, this is actually pre the Tastar change in the patch. So the regen globe talent here does make the half the shields last instead of making them stronger or whatever. Still not a very good talent on this map, but oh well. Okay, so right here, like using beetles to scout out. Right, so we spawn one right there to scout things out. Hello, enemy team. I remember this. This is like a real long standoff right here. Very Zen standoff. Neither team, we don't have a good engage at all. They don't have a good engage at all either. Really what I'd say should probably be happening here would be like the Ragnaros going up and pushing in top lane. We can outpush them quite easily. And just have the minions in top lane pressuring on the keep. That's probably what we should do. Because he can get there, clear the lane very quickly, very easily. We're safe beside the Immortal. It's pressure onto a keep. The enemy team doesn't have any like wave clear to de-push it. As it is, we're pushing him fairly slowly. Tastar basically gets owned. We're coming in. We basically follow in as quick as possible to try back him up. We get stunned back by the Immortal into the... into the Starfall, which sucked. Getting focused down here. Juke around the Li Ming a little bit. She gets 2 resets though, so that's us dead. And we get taken out. So that was unfortunate. That all came from Tastar being being hit by that swap. I thought that was hilarious as well. I was just laughing at everything during this game, but I thought it was hilarious. Tastar's like hard focus. I was like, dude, pretty sure that fight went the way it did because you got hit by an Artana swap into like a stun, into like an immortal stun, and we're at like 10% health or something at the beginning of that fight. I'm pretty sure that's actually what was the big problem there. Just saying. But anyway, oh well. It was pretty awkward where, you know, that swap basically set up in a really rough position. We basically had to dive in as hard as possible, just to try back our team up and try and make as much as we could out of the fight. Didn't really work. I'm not sure what Ragnaros wanted assistance with, but anyway, we're backing it up. But yeah, anyway, some of the shot calling and stuff is pretty dodgy here in this game. But we're Zen and Anub'arak. We're just having some fun. We don't care. Alright, so it's a fairly big immortal pushing in. We do have, obviously, Molten Core, though, so it's not the end of the world. I need to be very cautious. Again, actually, I should reiterate why I'm being cautious here. They do ultimately have a lot of burst damage, which can kill me as an Anub'arak. We don't have a cleanse, right? So I actually do need to be fairly careful, right? Which is what's going on here. I don't want to overcommit to anything, but I can be a medium aggressive tank in the front line, basically. We can obviously, if they ever try to engage in one of our teammates, we can do a lot of work protecting them. Right here, there was a stun on the gate, so we couldn't go in. So we're going to actually just go and push them out fairly aggressively. But right here, like for example, I'm able to be pretty aggressive in terms of my positioning right there. We're not too worried. There comes the swap, but we back out of it. Vala gets caught out. Good Saphira smash. And yeah, hey, Vala getting caught out actually worked really well for us. So there you go, great. We got hit by a Shrink Ray again. I think Malv took Shrink Ray for whatever reason. Holding on to my cooldowns until we get in on top of the enemy team. The throw knock up there actually did hit Saki. So he did a swap, which was actually kind of lucky for us. And that's the entire enemy team dead. I was trying to walk around. We actually got body blocked by Tastar there, which is kind of funny. Into the roots. And yeah, this should probably... might be game? No, yeah, this should be game. This should be game. Burn that down. We're on to the core. The 15 seconds till they respawn. Yeah, that should be game. We got Vala. We're going to get in the way of this Li Ming is our main goal here. Yeah, there you go. As you can see, 50% on the core as they start respawning. Really nothing they can do. So Saphira smash the core. Hype. We're just trying to body block Ming Li as much as possible. She does get a kill on Tastar, but as she does, we take down the core. And GG. Big turnaround at the end right there. Hilariously coming from Vala getting caught and almost killed. It was a close thing. It was a very close thing. Lucio, he had a fairly good game. Healed a lot. Lucio heals an awful lot. And this is, I think, his best map because everyone's just grouped up constantly. So he gets so much value out of his... I actually don't know if it's necessarily his best map. Should be a pretty good one for him. Or if it's just that his stats get super padded because he just has like healing aura on constantly. But yeah, I mean, he did 61,000 healing. Malf only did 56,000, so it's a pretty big deal. Dampen Magic, Legion of Beetles, Chitinous Plane, Locust Swarm, Earth-Rotating Spines, and Epicenter. There are a few other options for Anub'arak talents, but I figured that these were the best in this particular game. In this game, again, building around the whole idea of being this sort of zoning warrior for the most part, and then whenever we get a good engage, kind of like hard engaging and disrupting the enemy team, and definitely never like, or very rarely 100% committing, but rather, you know, 90% committing and then reserving 10% for energy, and our willpower and so on for juking and for just messing with the enemy team's head and just being this big distraction with stuns, with all this damage absorption to the side, body blocking skill shots, all of that goodness. And yeah, that was the idea. I think it worked fairly well for the most part. As you saw, he's kind of playing it patiently, and then once one of our teammates gets caught out, then we dive in really hard and try to protect them. With the Tasser getting picked out, it didn't work, but with Vala getting picked out, ended up winning the game, kind of funnily enough. Yeah, Dampen Magic at 1, I'd always be taking this. I mean, on Stitches, he has Dampen Magic as well at 1, and I was saying like I'd try not to be taking that on Stitches? Well, with Anub'arak, I'd try to always be taking it. And the reason being is that that's the niche you want to be picking Anub'arak in. I don't think it shows it in game yet. They really need to improve the UI. But he does have a permanent, what is it? I think it's 25 spell armor. I'm pretty sure it's 25. He is a permanent 25 spell armor. He takes 25% reduced damage from all spells at all times. So he's inherently like an anti-mage tank. He's fundamentally an anti-Li Ming tank as well. But yeah, like up against mages, he's quite strong. So you're picking him already against mages. So hey, if they've already got mages that you're trying to counterpick, then you're almost always going to be picking Dampen Magic even more so. So yeah, that's the idea there. Legion of Beetles, likewise, you're nearly always going to be picking that to spawn extra beetles, because spawning extra beetles, it's a bit of extra damage, and most importantly, it's extra skill shot blocking. And, you know, blocking skill shots is something that Anub'arak is... The heroes that he naturally counters with spell armor are also the heroes that are going to be naturally reliant on skill shots. Li Ming, Kel'Thas, Jaina. So he's good against those too. Level 7 then, Chitinous Plating. I think all the level 7 talents are actually pretty good, so you're free to do what you want. I like Chitinous Plating the best because I like more shields for myself. I think it's the most useful one overall, but realistically, they're all good. Locust Swarm at 10, I think is such a strong heroic. It does a lot of damage. It gives you a lot of unprecedented sustain that's kind of hard for the enemy team to judge and to take account of. Like, I would have kind of won a fair few fights in my Anub'arak days with Locust Swarm because they engage hard onto you, thinking they've got enough to kill you, and then you're just healing off like a minion wave or like monsters on the shrines and infernal shrines or just something, or a bunch of the enemy heroes, and you suddenly turn out to be way tankier than they expect. So I think it's a really good heroic. It's both a damage and a survivability heroic, so it's very strong. Cocoon can be very good as well, but you're giving up a lot to take that because Locust Swarm is so strong for your frontline duties. Level 13 then, I also think all the talents at 13 are good. I usually take Earthtricating Spines because I've already taken Chitinous Plating at 7, so the reduced cooldown on Hardened Carapace means that, hey, a talent that does damage whenever we cast Hardened Carapace is going to get extra value. So it's very nice. The reason I like it is that it's burst damage, so it can really help with like just blowing up heroes, taking them a bit by surprise. The other talents though, Bed of Barbs is very, very good too. Burning Rage can be nice for more like PvE damage. But, yeah, I mean, you're going to be taking Earthtricating Spines most of the time, I reckon. Level 16 is another talent here with multiple good talents. Epicenter and Blood for Blood are both very good. In this one, I went for Epicenter because we were, like, it was in that final fight when we were in a big chase. So I was like, I want Epicenter for this, like, right now, so that I could, like, chase as hard as possible. And, yeah, then we could maybe win the game off it, and we did. Yeah, Epicenter's very, very strong, probably the default one. Blood for Blood can be great as well if you want to be extra tanky in the front line. Basically, you steal 10% of a hero's max HP and you heal for twice as much. So, you know, against an actual high health warrior like Muradin with Avatar or Diablo, it heals you for maybe a third of your HP in the end because Anub'arak's HP is really small. So, yeah, that can be really nice to be extra tanky against kind of frontline warriors. Wouldn't have been a bad option in this game, considering that we were the solo warrior, but yeah, just because we were in this final chase kind of thing, Epicenter was better, for sure. But yeah, I think both of those are good, and I tend to switch it up quite a bit between those two. Level 20 as well, pretty much all the talents are good. Rewind would be my talent of choice, for just more stun locking. It's an extra shield as well. Mostly just more AoE stun locking is basically the gist of that one. Hardened Shield is really strong too for like a more dive focused Anub'arak, so I use that quite a bit as well. I think Hive Master then is supposed to be fairly decent. I don't like it myself, but it's fairly decent. I prefer like the bursty. Yeah, I prefer the more bursty team fighty oriented ones of Hardened Shield or Rewind. Hive Master is like the sort of sustained usefulness thing, but I don't know. Apparently it's good, but for level 20 that doesn't appeal to me. I prefer more high impact hero like choices for like a single fight at level 20 because that's generally how things go in heroes. So yeah, that's kind of what I think about that. But that is Anub'arak. He's really good against mages. He's really good against heroes with skill shots. He's got a very high win rate at the moment in Hero League because at the high levels, because he just fundamentally, you pick him into that correct niche, that anti-spell damage niche, and he's so good at it. Like, he's so strong. He brings a ton of CC in his base kit. He's actually very survivable against burst mages, and yeah, I mean that kind of sums it up basically. He's really good at all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed a bit of a look at Anub'arak. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll catch you all next time for more Here's the Storm. So stay zen, everyone. Stay zen. Bye bye.